Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm hoping y'all can see my quick housekeeping slide. Kaz, is that what you can see?
Yes, that's what I'm seeing.
Perfect. So this is our 5th weekly webinar Wednesday, which is super exciting. I'm so glad so many of you have stuck through us through this process. And I am really excited to hear from Dr. Ingawa, who I'm going to keep calling Kaz because it sounds weird to call him Dr. Ingawa because I didn't even do that as an undergrad. But he is one of the OGs of PCDART and record keeping, and he has forgotten more about PCDART than I will probably ever learn. So having him with us today, I'm super excited. So some quick housekeeping while we wait for some more people to join us. This is our 5th one, like I said earlier, and each one of our webinar Wednesdays is roughly an hour. And each one of those individual hour webinars, we need to do 3 to get 1 Master Dairy in-person meeting credit, just because our Master Dairy in-person meetings are normally 3 hours of continuing education. So 1 + 1 + 1 = 3 webinars. I really need you to fill out the completion form to receive credit. We've been super fortunate that a lot of people have been joining us online, and the TMDP form is really the only way I can count to know that you were here. So all you need to do is follow this link, https:// the word tiny.utk.edu/TMDP_ and the word form. That'll take you right to a quick eval sheet where you can tell me which one you did and any takeaways or notes you would like us to have from the meeting. We are posting all of the recordings of Weekly Webinar Wednesday to our UT Dairy website, so you can view those later. I should have those up by the end of the day today. And to receive Master Dairy credit for those, I just need you to go back to that same form and let us know that you attended. And if you are an agent who wants to view this later for in-service credit, we're also going to be posting that at Kate, and that's at tiny.utk.edu/dairy in-service. So without too much more ado on my part, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to turn off my video. You'll notice that all of you have been muted upon entry. If you have a question throughout, we tend to be fairly informal depending on how much we want to disrupt Cass's talk. He doesn't normally mind. If you have questions throughout, you can unmute and ask it and I'll call on you, or you can throw it into the chat or use the raise your hand icon. And I am going to turn off video throughout just in case we have some people listening who don't have great internet access. We want to make sure they can hear us well. So Kaz, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Eckelkamp. Oh, maybe I'll call you Liz too. Yeah, it feels weird. All right, so now we're gonna go back to get to my screen, and I guess good morning, good afternoon, everybody. I'm very happy to be here. It's an honor to talk to a group of dairy enthusiasts, and I'm going to try to cover what we can within this hour. I did tell Liz that talking about PCDART in under an hour is really kind of like a punishment because it's just so much to cover. And I'm sure the stuff that I am going to bring up here will not be covered completely. Not only to think of, there are so many ways to do one thing, but also there are so many things to do. So we'll do the best that we can and cover a little bit of this and that, and I'll show you in a minute what I'm going to cover. So to begin with, I did turn off my video also so we could increase the bandwidth. I do have, it's like everybody, I'm working from home, and so my internet is really not the greatest. So in order not to risk cutting off, I think it's best I turned it off. And then when it comes to questions, if you ask a question, if I don't answer it completely, please feel free to contact me. Most of you know me. If not, but Liz can get my contact information to you and send me the question, and we will answer it thoroughly. And some of the questions may need thorough thinking and a lot of different ways to answer it, so it may take time to answer it. Therefore, we will do that more efficiently after the seminar. So you're more than happy to, I'm more than happy for you to contact me or to contact the RMS. All right, so we are going to, so let me just clear this out of the way. Okay, minimize that. Okay, so I'm gonna just go into the PCDART basics, just navigation in order to, because I don't know the level of people's awareness of how PCDART works and what it is. So I'm just gonna go through some file menu stuff and talk about reports and graphs. And then we'll get into features, and prior discussions with Liz, we decided that we're going to talk about time the AI feature in PCDART, how to set it up, how to enroll cows, and how to display the enrolled cows on reports. And then I'll talk a little bit about trackers. I'm not sure if we will get to protocols and chores, but if we could, I will definitely at least pull it up and talk about the basics, and then comments and questions. So starting with the sources of information for PCDART, I might as well go ahead and put this up ahead so you can note those, and anytime go there, there's tremendous amount of information there. PC.help within the program, and I'll pull that up and show it to you. The DRMS website has a lot of information. If you go under the support menu, you select documents, there is the Tip Tuesday, and Tip Tuesday is it's an email kind of newsletter, if you want to call it, that we send out. It's a tip about doing something, how to put animals in temp group, how to look at the impact of something, how to do one thing or another in PCDART. And so you can sign up for it either on the website or just call the RMS and tell them you want to sign up for Tip Tuesday, and every Tuesday you will get it. And we also have short videos and webinars that we have. So for most topics in PCDART, they are listed there. You select which one you want to. They're not that long. They're just about, some of them 4 minutes, 3 minutes. But they have a lot of information that you can utilize. And of course, you can do the Google. If you Google PCDART at YouTube, you will get a bunch of videos, all kinds, long ones, short ones. The two most recent ones were put in just last month by Doug Moyer from Central Star in Michigan. That's PCDART tricks and tips, and then digging deeper into PCDART. They are very, very good videos. I encourage you to go search for them, or find them, or use the link I've just put up there and put it on your browser and go for it. It's great information. Okay. All right. So with that, I'm going to open PCDART, and so here's, when you open PCDART, this is where you will normally come to overview screen, and the
Hey, Cass, we
file.
can't see your Dart yet.
What was that? You lost it again?
Yep, we can't see it yet.
Okay. How about now?
Perfect.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So this is the file menu, of course. Everybody knows that. Under the file menu, you have sections of the program that you can go into under view is basically what you're gonna view the cow page or filter or stuff like that, and analysis of graphs, and then the tracker series, the input desk where data goes in, and so on and so forth. So it's regular Windows menu. It displays the different sections of the program. And then at the bottom, you have the buttons that you can click on and go into different things. And we're going to use some of these. But then the action list comes to you in 3 different tabs: cows that are in heat in 7 days, and dew in 7 days, and dry in 7 days. You have the capability of changing these intervals. If you want to, just right click on it and go to options, and it will let you make those changes. Okay. Then under herd statistics, you've got a total number of cows in the database, and you got the number of cows that are in milk, and then other statistics, bred and pregnant, so on and so forth. And any one of these numbers with an underline feature on it, you can just click on it, and then the list of the animals show up with a little bit more information. Okay. Then at the bottom, you have the non-milking animals, or the heifers, replacements, a total number, and then the ones that are bred, so on and so forth. So you should, again, when you underline, or when you click on any underline number, a list shows up. Okay. So basically, that's what the overview screen is. Now, if you need to go back, you select on test day statistics, then it shows you can go back since the herd has started testing. So we have, this one, September 2002, and if you select it, you can go back to that test day. Okay, so we're gonna stick back to the current test today for this herd, and we're gonna uncheck this. All right, so a couple things I would like to point out before we start looking into things. The reference date it defaults to today, but if you get database, depending upon where you get it from, it may come from DRMS, or it may come from the farm if they have PCDART. So if the database is from DRMS, the best thing to do is to set your reference date based on the test day, which is the first day up here. In this case, April 8th, 2020 for this herd. Because anything after test day, we do not have it at DRMS or any other processing center. So you have to put your date to that test day, because you have date sensitive DBIs, database items, and those will react to whatever reference date you have, like days in milk on reference date, or days in milk on test days. Those will depend on that date that you have here. But if you get the data from the PCDART on farm, then it will have a last day of input as well. And so that's the day you probably need to use in order to, because anything beyond that, you will not have that information. And I'll show you an example here in a minute. Okay, so basically, 2 ways you're looking at information. Either you graph it, it's a picture, you look at it, it's a graph, scatter graph, or bar graph. Or you look at reports in tables, okay? Or a combination of both, okay? So we'll go into reports, and that little button there, when you click on it, it shows you the reports. Okay, so there are 2 reports in PC, there are two types: standard reports and user reports. So standard reports will have reports that you can only change options. Okay, you cannot edit them, you cannot do anything to them. For example, so I'm looking at animals that left herd. So if you notice, it says since April 9th, 2020. Okay, my test day is April 8th. So it sensed that and um, it went to the day after test day. And so I'm gonna preview that. Okay. And this is a big herd, and I know we do have a lag here. Okay, so this is the report I get: index number, barn name, this and that, this and that. But if you notice, I don't have the whole information in display. So I'm gonna close that, and I'm gonna come here and make a change of the format so I can make the font smaller. Okay, so you can see the entire information. And I'm gonna do an OK there, then preview it again. Now I should be able to see my entire program, I mean report. Okay. And give it a few seconds here. So now we can see everything, okay? And it gives you all of that. Now, if you don't want all of this information, you can turn around and create your report with the information that you want. Not all of the reports you can do that, but some of them you can. So in the interest of time, I've already, you can create that report by using the user report. Okay, so if we go to user report here, and you can just create, say, new. And I'm not going to go into creating reports, but we know how to do all of that. But you can select the DBIs that you want, and you can use days since left herd. Your DBI area is the white area here. There's nothing there. Once you click in here, that's where the items that will show up on the report. And you can select whatever you want to select here and just double click on it, or type in the number 012 or just 12, for example. Press enter, and then it shows you the DBI. So, and then what animals you want on the report, you control here. And we'll do some of this in the next few minutes. So, but I just wanted to show you how you can look at standard report and then just eliminate what you don't want and add something that you want. And again, not all of the reports you can, but some of them you can. Okay, so next is the graphs. So I just want to point out that there are graphs that you can use, herd graphs, 4 different areas: other health, production, reproduction, and genetics. And you can select any one of these and display the graph. And let's say, for example, peak milk by lactation number. So it shows you the whole herd, and it gives you the legend at the bottom, lactation 1, lactation 2, 3, and 4, and you can unselect and just look them individually if you want to. Okay, and at the same time also you can stack these by year. So 4 years, anytime you can look at 4 years. So I'm gonna uncheck prior year. I'm gonna check current year. Is usually not, it's not complete depending upon what time of the year you're looking at. If you're looking at it in December versus now in May, there's a difference. So I'm gonna uncheck it. So you are comparing now 2019 and 2018, okay, for peak milk. And this is for the herd. And this is for starter lactation of older cows. All right. Okay, so that's herd graphs. Then you have, we go to cow, and so if looking for days in milk versus fast bread. Let's see if it will work now. It did work a few seconds ago, so that is good. So this is scatter plot, and you can tell that this is days in milk versus days to fast service filter that I used. So we'll do one of these graphs and go through it, but every dot here is a cow. So if you see something that is unusual, you just double click on that, and then it takes you to the cow page for further information about the animal. Okay. All right. Okay, so for navigation, that's probably all I'm gonna talk about. So I'm gonna dive into timed AI now. So to do timed AI is really nothing but scheduling shots for reproduction, controlling estrous cycle. All right, so that feature is in the file management options, and automatically it comes up. Okay, it shows up as the default screen. So we have you can create up to 6 protocols. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and create an example one here. But what you have to do is, I mean, you can click into any one of these and type things in, but when you get done, you come to save it. That's where you may have a little issue. So, but if you go down here, there are predefined protocols here. 1 through 5 are the protocols, and then number 6 is the resync. Resync meaning the animal has already gone through the protocol and turned out to be open, and so you can resync. And again, we encourage people to always work with their work this feature with the supervision of their veterinarian. So I'm gonna pick, say, pre-sync, and it populates everything. Okay, so you ask, well, the minimum days in milk is really the feature that drives everything on this or the item that drives this feature. It is rigid, it is there. This is your voluntary waiting period. Okay, so I'm going to start from here. You can give it any name you want, but you allow 6 characters in there. And so I'm just going to leave it as what I pick as pre-sync. So it will be, I can type in as pre-sync. Okay, pre-syn, that's it. Now you have about 12 characters here to determine, to define what it is. So maybe it's pre-sync for first lactation, second lactation, or pre-sync 1, or whatever you want to call it is totally up to you. Now, the program, as I said, will use your voluntary waiting period, and I'll show you once we get set where this 62 came in. So we will use the standard that if nobody has done anything, it's going to be 60 days in milk. That's when you breed. Okay, if you don't do anything, you have not set a voluntary waiting period in PCDART, that is what will show up there. And for heifers, this is in the age in days, and 396 is the minimum. I've seen some people for 427, but you can change it to whatever you want. That's the point I'm trying to make. Okay, so this the first 3 shots here, PGH1, 2, and the blank one, if you have another one to add, because some people do double opting or whatever they call it. But whatever you all decide with your veterinarian, you can put these in. And again, you can change these names as well, because I've seen people use LUTE here, L-U-T-E, and that works as well. Okay. Then this is 14 days to the next shot, from first shot to second shot. I have seen that being changed to 12 days. again, it's totally up to what you and the veterinarian decide. And then the second shot, also 14 days. Now the program does not start until here, until January 1. Okay, so these are pre-sync setup shots. If you notice, um, cows on this farm, this program, they're enrolled at 22 days in milk. That's when they will show up on the report for their first shot. 14 days later, 36 days in milk, they will show up for the second shot, so on and so forth. Then you first shot in the program is GnRH, and then the next shot 7 days later. I always go ahead and put a 3 here so I can continue if all these shots are being given. Okay, and then we got GnRH shot, and then some people might add something here, another shot, or another GnRH shot with the breeding. So you can go in here and make a change and put G plus breed or something like that. But I'm going to leave it all the way it is, just as a default, but just know that you can change it. Now, there is a box here that came with a default check for do not schedule setups for diagnosed open cows. So these 2 shots, if you uncheck this, the cows that have an N in them are going to get this shot. They will be scheduled for it. If you put that in, then they will not get it. They're going to start here. And really, again, is another farm decision because this is an expense. Okay, now you look at the day, this one indicates that breeding is on Thursday. Well, if you don't want to do breeding on Thursday, you can change these. You can do it on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday. Whatever day you want to select, you can select it from here. Okay, you can select the day. So I'm just going to leave it the way it is again. So looks like the protocol is all set. One more thing I need to point out, if you have a small herds, 80, 90, maybe 60 cows, you probably will not need to schedule a start date every week, which is the default. So if you put a check here, then it will do it every 14 days. So I'm going to uncheck that and leave it the way it is. So we're going to apply changes. And now we got a pre-sync, and you can create another one and another one and another one. So we'll just have one protocol, and I'm gonna stick to that. So we are done setting up. Now we need to find the cows to enroll into this protocol. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set my my last input date, as I said, because this database came from that farm around the April the 20th. So I'm gonna go back here, give it a few seconds, and then April 20th. So that's my my last input date. So I'm gonna incorporate every cow that I need in there. So we'll go into reports. We'll go to standard reports, and we'll go to reports 100 and 34 through 139. Those are the timed AI reports. Okay, so eligible for enrollment. So I'm gonna pick that report to show me cows that are eligible for enrollment into that protocol. So I just preview, and whoops, there are no animals. No, that's not true. I did this on purpose, so you could see that it says no TAI protocol has been defined, and that is true. All your protocols are going to be listed here on the right. So you have to select which one you want to run the report for. So now I'm going to preview my report, and you can see that it has given me up to about 6 pages of animals that are eligible to be enrolled. Okay, that's 261 animals. Okay, you're not enrolling all 261. So again, the teacher has given you can limit the number of cows, okay, that you want to do. So I'm just gonna say let's do 5 of them. Okay, so if I and you also have option to do either cows only, heifers only, and the heifer system will drive based upon that age in days we define. You can the sort is by index number, but you can do by barn name. And again, you can do either by highest days in mail, lowest days in mail, or by list order. So this is going by list order. So I'm just going to leave it at that, but the options are there. So if we preview, we should have just about, I know, the number of cows we selected. So here are the 5 cows we've selected. If you have more than 5 cows that you want to do, for example, you can put them in a temp group, and then and enroll them all at once. So I'm gonna just write down these numbers, and we'll do them 1 cow at a time. But know that you can do all of them in group. Okay, so we've got 11,377 and 433, 470, and 488. Okay, so we will enroll these animals. If you have different protocols, you can enroll them in different protocols. Okay. All right. So I know my animals now. So I'm going to go to the input desk. This is where data goes into PCDART, and you can see timed AI button is here. So I select it, and so it shows the last number. The last index number I used. So if I change it to 11, and I press enter, then yeah, so it tells me I have both a heifer and a cow, and it says and a bull actually. So we'll choose the cow, and so cow number 11 is selected. And in green, we tell you what you can do: either start her on timed AI, exclude her from timed AI. So this exclusion is put in if, for example, you have an enrolled cow and then she gets hurt or she had arthritis or what have you, so you can exclude her. And then when she gets better, she's ready to go back, be enrolled, then you can do an R to remove the exclusion. And for Z is to completely wipe out or unenroll any animal that you may have enrolled and by mistake, or you don't want to enroll her anymore. So you can either just type in the letter that you want. So in our case, it's going to be a start. And once I put that start, and you can see that it has given us all the shots in line. Now, I picked a cow that has gone beyond the 60 days in milk that we needed. But if a cow calves today and I enroll her today, she will hit exactly those 60 days. So this is a start, which means this cow has been in milk for a while without being probably bred, or she's eligible to be bred now. 117 days in milk, she would be bred rather than the 60. Okay, and if you have more than one protocol, all of them are going to show up here. So we only have one for now. And here's your timed AI reference date, which is today's date by default. But if you, for any reason, have already started giving shots, and you can change that date to go back to the day you started it. Now, if a cow has been bred, okay, and you haven't determined or you haven't told the PCDART what the outcome is of that breeding, it's going to warn you that this cow has been bred, and you haven't said what happened to the to that breeding. If you put a check here, you're telling PCDART, do not warn me. I know what I'm doing. Okay, so this is totally up to you. So we're gonna leave it unchecked. So for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and say done. So she is enrolled. I will enroll another one. And as I said, we can do this by temp group, or create a temp group and put all of them in and do them. But in the interest of time, I'm gonna do this real quick with this. So you see, it remembers everything that I have done, and it's just allowing me to go ahead and do it, but just pressing enter and done. Okay, so all our cows will now be enrolled, and they are all in there. Okay, so I've got 5 of them done, and we are done. We are done. So now I go to the reports. Now I can see what my shut dates and times are. So I will start with the all dates format. Okay, so let's see the entire uh, protocol schedule. So if I preview that, still again no time to add protocol to timing. So this also has the same impact like the other one. So you have to select the protocol and then preview it. And here are our 5 cows and all the dates. Okay, from start to finish. Okay. And then the other reports, really, this is for next week to do. And again, select that, we preview. So we probably don't have any cows to do next week, which is true, because if you go back and look, you'll see that for the all dates format, you don't start the shots until the 11th. Okay. All right. So now let's go to do today. Obviously, you won't have anything, but if you are on that day, then you click on this, it will show you what to do today. Okay, so this is really it. That's how you uh, enroll cows, and that's how you can run the protocols. Now, if you have gone through any of the animals that has been, I mean, she's fallen into cracks, for example. You have not given her shots, you haven't done anything, so you can go ahead and run past due to breed. So you have not recorded breeding, and you have options here to select due to breed today, 1 day, 2 days, so on and so forth. Okay, and then cows that are eligible for resync for report 139. So that will also allow you to get those cows. Notice up here you can use, they have been bred more than X days. So this is usually how long you wait after breeding. If you do ultrasound, obviously this number is going to be less than 35, probably 25, 28 days, somewhere there. Okay. All right. So Liz, has that covered timed AI? Are there any questions?
I think that covered it pretty well. Do we have any questions from our attendees?
Okay. All right. So I am go ahead and go into the trackers. I'm just going to go through them. And again, as I said, please watch those Doug Mora videos. He's done an excellent job with the trackers. So the trackers are accessible here. There are you have activity tracker, consumption tracker, heifer tracker, inventory tracker, and maternity tracker, and they do precisely what they say. So activity tracker, really, it tracks everything you have done to every cow and you have recorded it. That's the key thing. It has to be recorded. Okay. And so in one word of caution I want to bring up is with these, especially health events, for every herd is going to be different. Okay. But make sure that within that herd, everything is consistent. If metritis is recorded as METR, record it on as METR for every cow that had that situation. Not METR and then others METRS or MTRS or something else within the metritis word. Be consistent, because every one of those is going to be considered, different. All right. So the tracker, all of the trackers are pretty much similar. So I encourage everybody to just go and play around with them. Okay. So you can do by health events, you can do by protocols, you can do by chores, and it defaults to I'm going to go on to that. It defaults to 1 year. So from May 7, 2019 to May 6, 2020 to today, you can change this range, okay, if you want to. There are settings in here that you can go into. You either use string numbers, temp groups, so on and so forth, ETs, non-ETs, for all of them, and you can make selections. Cohorts, you can, for example, if you're analyzing cows that have been bred and diagnosed pregnant, and there will be some that probably they have been bred, but they have not been diagnosed pregnant yet. So you go back probably from the last known breeding date of a pregnant cow, and then make your change there. That way, your preg rate, your conception rates, all those will come out better. They will come out, more accurate. And age at Calvin in months, I have a report that I'm going to try to run real quick. Birth date cohort, you can set those, and then there are a bunch of filters here that you can select. Okay, health treatment filter, yes or no, hospital, so on and so forth. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the main, and I'm just gonna select everything. I'm gonna look just the whole year. Okay, and so there's an opportunity also. There is a little box here which comes checked that you will include repeats of some certain situation, especially with mastitis. Okay, so if I say preview, I'm gonna leave all of the repeats in, and it is gonna give me a table with all of those things that I have selected, and all of the health events, and we are churning and churning. Hopefully it should do it soon. Come on, hurry up. Yeah, I know. It's one of those things that takes a long
This
time to.
smaller play set, Cass.
I don't know. I need to. It never did this, and I didn't anticipate it will do this online, but when we're not online, it runs real quick. It really does. I don't have any issues when I work with it.
The joys of quarantine. We're all stealing.
Yes. Yeah. Again, I wish I have the opportunity to use my real document. I mean, real equipment. All right. So I hope we're not frozen again, but it looks like it is still calculating. And again, it is a large herd, over 2,000 cows. So it's going through and getting everything that has been done to every animal and trying to list it. Come on, come on.
So guys, while the little rainbow wheel is spinning, I'm going to try something that we haven't tried before in our weekly webinar Wednesdays, and I'm going to launch a poll. As Cass said, giving him only an hour to talk about all the amazing things PCDART can do is really cruel. So the poll that I'm asking is, would y'all like to do more interactive PCDART meetings? Kind of like this, going over very specific topics. So one going over something like the milk quality aspects that we can do with DART, maybe another one going over genetic evaluations where we could really do some drilled down management using PCDART. And another one looking at maybe things like linking multiple events. So if a cow calves in, we automatically link to knowing what we're going to do with that calf and entering our calving e-scores, all that kind of information. So I'm going to launch the poll now, and it's a simple yes/no question. Would you like to do more interactive DART trainings? Yes or no? And I'm going to wait for your responses. I'm going to let Ken back to his talk.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm going to minimize the poll. So here's the table. It gives me a table, and you can scroll down and go all the way to the end and see all of those items that were in there. with the numbers, and I've selected by month, so it's giving me by month, and any one of these numbers you click. So if I want to see all calls, this 911, I click on it, and here we are. Is all the animals are here along with the remarks that were put in. Okay, and you can also select any of these and sort if you wanna if you are interested in sorting that. You can assign this to a temp group if you want to do further analysis. Definitely you can do that. Um, you can save this, you can print it. Any cow, you double click here, you can go to its cow page. But the key thing, like I said, is it gives you more information on what these animals are in that cell. Again, you can also select any one of these cells and right click on it, and you can either create a graph by day of the year, week, month. So for example, I'm gonna see the last 12 months in 30-day increments. And here we are, that's my graph, okay? 1 to 29 days, 30 to 50 to 59 days. This will be a great graph to look at for cows that are not, that are leaving immediately after fresh. And so that gives you this graph. Again, there are 2,679 breedings, 206 of them in January this year. I right click and I want to see those by week of the year or by date or by whatever you want or by since fresh. So here they are, and it gives you again a scatter plot because that's what I selected. Okay, so again, the tracker series are you don't have to select all like I did. You can just say I want to see just animals that died, and let's see if that shows up real quick. 114 total animals died, and I can look at these 8 in that died in February, and here they are, and that's the reason that they died for. And we don't have the time for me to do it, but you can put these, let's say, select animals that died of Clostridium that as they recorded here, and then put them in a temp group, and then create a report in cross tabs and see the impact of that to milk production. Okay, all right. So we're gonna close this. So that's really all I'm gonna say about trackers. I know I'm not doing it justice because there really isn't time to put stuff. But one final thing, you can create a tracker um, feature that you want, and then name it. You can give it any type of name you want, and save it. And when you come back next time, so like if I save this, and then when I come back next time, I will have all I need to do is to bring up CAS, and then I hit on load, and it's going to load my settings. Okay, so you don't have to redo it all the time. Okay, so let me run into reports real quick and do across tabs.
Hey, Cass.
Okay.
We had
Yes.
a quick question about the tracker. The question was, what's the difference between preview and show count at the bottom?
Okay. Let me go back to it. Tracker. This one. Okay. Show count, if you select it, oh, sorry. Let me select just fresh animals, and then I will say show count. And it's, again, gonna take a little while, but it is basically another way of creating this table to show the event that you have selected by month. I mean, it shows you that by month, but it's not, and it's different. It's just Preview will give you a lot more, and then the count, it shows you what your count. Okay.
Thanks,
All
Kat.
right. You're welcome. All right. So no, I don't want to save that. Now I need to go to. Okay. So I've created a few reports here that we could do cross tabs with. So I'm gonna edit the report just to show you what I did. So I'm looking at average age at first Calvin. Okay, so I've got DBIs here to see, and then I'm looking at lactation 1, and I'm removing dry cows. Okay, and I'm adding animals that have left the herd. Okay, because as Doug Moyer said, and not only him but other people also indicated that if a cow has left, just a few months ago, a few days ago, its impact on some parameters are still here in the database. So it's really good to include them. So here we go. I'm just going to click on cross tabs, and here's what I get. Between 21 and 21 months of age, it shows 0, but it shows you the percentage. So what you do is you go down here and you select the count. So there are 6 animals in there, but the calculations show, insignificant. But you can tell that this is how animals are calving on this herd, first animal, first lactation animals. Okay, now I can look and see their current milk. So here's their current milk, and I'm not here to interpret whether this is good or bad, but it gives you the numbers, and you make that decision. So the ones that calve between 21 to 21 months of age, the current milk is 66.7. And if you go down to the ones that have calved, let's say that around 31 months of age, it's about 78.4. So is there an impact there? Is definitely there is a difference. It may not be due to that, but that is a difference. Okay, so calving them early, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Definitely you got to think about the biology of the cow, maturity, size, so on and so forth. And this will show you what will happen to production if uh, if if an animal is calved too early or late. You can go to the grid and it will give you these numbers. If you are a numbers person, not a picture person, you can see that there are just 3 animals here, and 88, 192, so on and so forth. Okay, so it obviously doesn't look like it's a habit of this farm to calve animals that early. Okay. All right, Liz, I know it's 1 o'clock. I don't know how much more time I've got, but I do have some stuff I wanted to show real quick.
Super fast, Cass.
I know. Okay, real quick. I know right now we're looking at reducing animals because of the impact of coronavirus. Dairy farmers are asked to reduce milk production. So culling cows is probably the first thing people look at. There are many ways you can do that. You can create reports for inefficient milk production or unsatisfactory reproductive performance. But I did have money corrected milk, which is a way to look at how much money the cow makes for you. We do have a lot of information on that on the website. If you can look at it, that would be great. So I created this report. Many milk income over feed costs. God, leave my my tongue is tied. So you can rank these animals. So I have mine by lactation, and basically just looking at how much money each cow is bringing in, and then you can make a decision that way. And I stratify the reports based on components production, other health and milk quality. I'm not going to show the report. I'll just edit it so you can see what I have in there. Cows with actual count of 400,000 to 900,000, and others with currently and then previously, and I'm excluding dry cows. So they are high SEC cows. Okay. So
Cass,
oh,
one of the requests we had from respondents, because everybody does want to do more interactive PCDART meetings, was to go more in depth on some of those things like money corrected milk. So I think we'll still have a pretty good audience when we do that one.
Okay. So real quick on the money corrected milk, this is how you set it up. Everything comes from the milk check, either component market or fluid market. So this information drives everything, and your cost for dry matter per pound is given here. All this information is at the dairy. If you don't want to do the whole herd, then you can do it by group. So you select the group, you put how much that is, and PCDART will go ahead and calculate all of that for you. Okay, but this is where you set it up, and you at the beginning, this is what you're going to see. Like, I haven't set up the fluid market, but I did set up the components market. So it's all on the milk check. Talk to the producer. He will do it. If we happen to do one in the future, I'll have sample milk checks that you can look at. And I think I am going to stop here. I know I've gone over my time.
But I could listen to you talk all day, Kaz, but we should probably let other people get back to working on their farms.
Yes,
we do have
absolutely.
a quick question, and it's a simple one to answer. Is there a way to customize this for goats or a similar program for goats?
Right now, I will say yes, but the thing is, it's going to go back to the farm. Do they have a milk check?
Oh, they make a program in general, Cass. Can we use PCDART for goats?
Yeah, because right now the goats are using PCDART. We're setting it up for PCDART. But at the moment, I'm not sure they have all the requirements that money corrected milk feature needs to put this stuff in.
But they could use this program to track herd information.
Oh, everything.
All that stuff. Yep.
All that is, and I could show a goat herd next time we do this if needed.
And maybe that's one that we do. Maybe one of them we could do a small ruminant focused one to talk about what that setup would look like.
Absolutely. Yeah, we could. So I thank everybody, and again, I apologize for all the tech stuff we ran into, and I'm like I said again, I knew we will not cover everything, but the resources, the information sources I gave you are pretty good, and they will give you a lot more information. This is just superficial introduction, basically. That's it.
Got another question for you, Kaz, in the chat. Does DART only run test data test day, or can it incorporate more real live data like something Dairy Comp would do? So if they have daily milk weights, can we incorporate that into PCDART?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked that question. PCDART has a whole bunch of interfaces, more than 20 interfaces with different milking machines that they can come in. So yes, daily weights can be kept. Now, you cannot get the daily weights from a database that you download directly from DRMS or any other processing center. So this herd, luckily enough, they do have daily weights. So you can see April 20th was the last day when we got this data, and these are the daily weights for this cow, number 10038. Okay, and you can keep going down, all as far as her history is the daily weights I kept, and you see this is a 3x herd, so they're milking 3 times a day. Okay, so the daily weights, yes, they are in here, but you have to get that database from the PCDART on the computer. not from DRMS. The only way you can get it, if you get it from DRMS, is to get what we call a dot safe backup, but the producer has to give you that data or permission to get that data. They have to give you their hard code, their rack number, and then you log in with your own ID and then or their ID and then download it from us. Okay, but the origin has to be from the PCDART on the farm to get this daily.
Follow up on that. Could we work with a feed program also?
We do have Digistar that we work with, and you can go into import export, I believe, and if the feature is invoked, is set up, then you can go ahead and do that. You see this, create a Digistar update file, and so yeah, that's you can work with that, but you cannot balance rations in PCDART. That's not one of the things that that we do, but you can work with certain feeder programs. Okay.
But we can track what they eat and use that to do maybe our income over feed cost, possibly.
Yeah, if you know the if you have the weight of the amount of information, that's where the Digistar stuff comes.
So
okay.
Before I release y'all and I release Cass, are there any more questions you would like for him to answer while we're here? And I've only heard a couple of things about what we would like to hear in future interactive PCDART meetings. I just know that we want to have them. So remember that this works the same way that it does when you're live. If you don't tell me what you want to hear, you're stuck with whatever you come up with. So give us feedback, guys.
Yeah, and I do apologize also. I didn't get to talk about protocols and chores, but perhaps we could introduce that next time. Again, you can read it up on our website, and also a whole bunch of other things in graphs that we were not able to do. Again, 1 hour scroll.
Always very mean to Kaz.
I know.
As a quick reminder for anybody who came in late and wants to go back and hear more of the stuff at the beginning, I will be posting the recording of this to our UT Dairy website. Just Google UT Dairy or go to utdairy.utk.edu and it will take you straight to all of our resources and our Master Dairy page. You can also view the recording for Master Dairy Credit. If you are finding this through another avenue and you are curious, you can do that. If you are attending today for Master Dairy Credit, please do not forget to go to tiny.utk.edu/TMDP_form and let me know that you were here. That's the only way that I have a written record of you attending the meeting, and it just makes sure that everything is completely level and I don't forget anybody. So if that's what you're recording, please go there. If you are an agent attending for in-service training live today, please also fill out that form just so I have a written record that you were here. And I think you all should have registered in Super. If you are viewing this recording, you can view that for in-service credit on Kate at Dairy In Service. So thank you all. I'm not seeing any more questions in the chat. Kaz, do you have any last minute nuggets of wisdom for us?
No, make sure you provide my contact information to anybody who might want to contact me or DRMS support anytime. If they need more stuff, I really would love to hear from people so we can go through some of this stuff, especially what we superficially talked about. We need to go dig deeper into it. But I don't have any questions or any more comments. Thank you all. I really appreciate the time, and I hope I have provided something to someone. I know it was all basic stuff I talked about, but hopefully somebody has picked up something new.
Thanks, Cass. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting now. And if you have any questions you didn't get to ask today, I think most of you have my phone number and most of you definitely have my email. So send them my way. Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you, you too. Bye-bye.